we're back with Black Coffee, the refill, sitting here with the incredible Gwen Carr. Thank you so much for joining us still. And a little bit before, we were talking about everything that's happening with the NYPD, what we just learned yesterday. And now we want to know, realistically, or even, what do you hope will happen? What does justice look like for you and your family at this point?
Well, justice looks like to me when all of those officers who was involved in my son's death that day stand accountable and pay for their wrongdoings. At least we would get some sort of closure. At least we will see maybe that New York is listening, New York is aware.
Right.
Because right now it looks like they're looking the other way.
Right.
And we can't let them look the other way.
Definitely cannot.
Not on my watch.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
You've been dealing with this for 5 years, and I'm sure you've had to watch that tape many times. Or do you watch the tape?
I've never watched the tape in its entirety. From the first morning that it came out, it just disturbed me so much till I could not finish looking at the tape. And a lot of times, you know, as the years went on, a lot of times when people would recognize me, they would come, oh yeah, I seen the video, that was wrong what they did to your son, which I appreciate that. But what I don't appreciate is when they come and they're gonna relive the story, gonna tell me the whole thing of what they did to my son and how they, I know this, I don't need to relive this again. So I just, you know, I tell them thank you. You know, I don't like to be rude because, you know, I do have a lot of supporters out there and I appreciate the supporters. But I do also appreciate you not hashing back what happened that day because I know it all too well.
If there were a different resolution, if someone were held accountable, if someone had been arrested or charged and convicted, do you think how would you feel differently? Would you feel a sense of peace, or do you never get to that place?
Well, I would feel some sort of closure or some sort of, there has been a little accountability, but I think they need to do more.
Right.
Because it's not only my son, there is so many other young men and women out here that are not even high profile, that we don't even know their name. So that's why I stand for them all. I just had an event last weekend where I invited mothers from all around the nation. Some you don't know, some you know. And I just feel like it doesn't make a difference whether the world knows them. But we have a bond. We have a club that no one wants to be a part of. So I just look around the nation and I bring together mothers. So that weekend that they come, I try to get them to enjoy themselves. And when we stand up and we talk about our children, we talk about them in a positive way, because everyone knows the tragedy.
Right.
So we don't have to thrive on the tragedy. So let's talk about what made us so proud of our child. Let's talk about the funny things that they did, you know, that made us laugh.
Right.
And so mothers told me, I appreciate you like this, because a lot of times we go, people want us to tell the story about what happened. I says, no, only if you feel like talking and venting about the story, I'm here to listen. Other mothers are here to listen. But if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine.
And I think that, you know, that brings up a great point, because these people that have been murdered are more than a hashtag. That
That's
sometimes, you know, we just isolate that to a hashtag. And I wanted to get into, you know, some of the funny things or the qualities that Eric had while he was living, while he was your son. What are some things you can tell him that humanized him past just that video?
Yes, well, he had a lot of human qualities. As a child, he always thought everyone was his friend. He would go to school, and he always was like a peacemaker. That's why it reminds me that day when he was breaking up a fight that day, that, you know, before he was murdered. This little boy, it was a little white boy that he brought home from school one day. He says, Ma, he's going to eat dinner with us. The kids was picking on him in class today, you know, and I brought him home with us. Now, he didn't call me. Well, we didn't have cell phones or anything at that time anyway. But
He didn't call the landline.
no, right. He called the landline and said, Mom, somebody's coming. He just bring him home. No, he's going to eat. He's going to eat dinner, not can he eat it. He's going to eat dinner with us, you know. And he would. And the kids just loved him so much in the classroom. And in school, now a funny story in school about him. He was, I think, sixth or seventh grade he was. And he was in a cooking class. You know, they used to cook. And the teacher tells me, no, he comes home one day. He said, Mom, you got to go up to the school. I said, why I have to go up to the school? Because the teacher want to see you. And he said, I didn't do nothing wrong. I says, well, if I have to go to school, you must have done something wrong, you know. So I says, okay, I'm going to the school, but, you know, I want to see what you did. You know, you said you didn't do anything wrong. So when I got up there, the teacher told me, he said right away, he said, well, it actually wasn't Eric's fault. So I said, he said it wasn't. He said, but what happened, we were getting ready to bake a cake, and I told all the kids to write down the recipe for the cake. And so we had the 2 boxes of cake mix sitting on the table. And as Eric is writing down the recipe, another boy, because at that time I had gotten him a close haircut, you know, real close haircut. So he said another boy comes up behind him and pops him in the back of the head.
We used to do that.
know.
Yeah.
That was you.
Stop doing something like that.
No respect.
He says Eric jumps up and went to grab the guy, you know, and he said he jumped right in between. He said, and neither one of y'all better not pass a lick, else he said, both of you are suspended if either one of y'all pass a lick. So he said Eric was still furious. You know, he didn't hit him. He said, but he took the cake mix and slung it out the window.
Had to do something.
I love that. I love that.
So anyway, so he said, so that's why I called you up, you know, because he could have hit somebody outside with the cake mix, you know. And so, but he, you know, I know he was enraged, but I just, you know, wanted to tell you, you know, try to tell him to control his anger. When he said, but I probably would have did the same thing if somebody popped me in the back of my head like that.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
So,
literally too.
So then anyway, I came home. So I said, well, I was fussing with him. I said, well, just don't do that. Next time, you know, you let the teacher take care of it or whatever. I know that you was angry or whatever, or you come home and tell me. So he said, yeah, okay, Mom. So we're standing outside, and we're over by Red Hook, and it's a street that I don't see no light to try to cross the street. I want to cross because I said we were going to walk home. It was a kind of long walk, but a nice day. I said we were just going to walk home.
Right.
So I'm looking, and I'm crossing from the little street to the big street. I said, well, when is this light? When is this traffic going to stop? So because I had told him, I said, don't say nothing to me because, you know, I'm kind of angry. So then I'm crossing the street. He crosses with me. I cross back. I said, how can I get across this big street? So then I said, Eric, how do you cross the street? He says, oh, you got to go up through the walkway. You got to go up these stairs and then walk over to the other side. I said, do you see me going back and forth? Why didn't you tell me? He said, you told me don't say nothing.
You said don't say
You said don't say that.
I'm
That's what
listening.
you said, Mom.
That's beautiful.
So, but you know,
was a
and
good
then
kid.
he was a lover of Christmas. He used to.
I love Christmas.
He used to play Santa for his kids when he got older. And when he was younger, loved to go to family functions. And I remember when he and his brother was about 8 and 9, I bought them these big wheels. At the time, that was the big thing, the big wheels. But I went to, Buy Right it used to be up there on Broadway in Brooklyn. And I bought them these top-of-the-line big wheels that was made like a Flint cycle, looked just like the Flintstone, looked like the tree trunk and everything. So I says, I want to take pictures of them when they get up. So when they got up that morning, I said, I want to see their faces. So they was looking at each other, saying their little sayings, oh, wow, oh, baby, look what we got.
Baby.
So then Eric says to his younger brother, now I know we rich. So his younger brother says to him, I knew it all the time, stupid. And so I laughed at them. I says, no, we're not rich. How we rich? We was living in public housing.
Right.
So anyway, Eric said, well, all my friends think we rich. I said, why? He said, because I get $1 every day to go to school. And they say we got a nice house. So they said we the rich family that live in the rich house. Oh, yeah. I said, sometime I have to borrow that $1 to give to you in the morning.
That's a black mama for you.
Yes,
And we know the love you put into Eric,
Yes.
and it showed in what he gave to the world. And
Yes.
as we always say, when we talk about this case, we think about the injustice, but we also think about the humanity, and we think about your incredible loss that no amount of justice can ever pay back to you.
That's true.
We're grieving with you, and you have our love and support.
What can we do? I mean, there's literally, we just want to know, how can we help? Obviously, we have a platform. We want you to tell your story. Where can we show up? What can we support?
Well, starting this evening at 4 o'clock, we are going to have crowds down by Foley Square here in Manhattan, where the youth is going to lead the program. They asked if they could lead the program. They are going to be doing everything and moderating and everything the program. And we're going to march around One Police Plaza. And tomorrow we're going to be at Gracie Mansion. We're going to be doing some civil disobedience. And I just ask everyone, please to come out. Just come out to support. Just come out to show yourself if you are in support, or if you're not pleased with the decision like I'm not pleased with the decision. I just hope you would come out. And
What time tomorrow?
tomorrow is at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock as well.
Both of them at 4 o'clock. Today is 4 to 7. Tomorrow is 4 to, I don't know.
Till
yes.
the end.
Yes.
All right. Well, the people will be there, and the people stand in support of you. Again, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. And we have a website, GarnerWayFoundation.org,
There you go.
that you can go to our website. We're having it rebuilt as we speak, but it'll be, up, and you can see the pictures. If you like to donate to the cause, you can. But we just want the people to support us in our fight going forward.
That's it.
Yes.
All right, we'll certainly do that.
Thank you.